What up, space babies? Pigs protect the status quo. This means they protect private property, patriarchy, and white supremacy. Historically, the police has protected fascist organizations, and they still do. Why? Look what they stood and still stand for. They seek to protect private property, patriarchy, and white supremacy. So if you're against these things, you're up against the state and fascist groups. Now that's a whole lot, even for the strongest fighter. Both fascists and pigs are heavily armed and aren't afraid to attack violently. We've seen this happen in Charlottesville, and it could have been way worse because they had weapon depots. Motherfucking weapon depots. So empty slogans like, we shouldn't be afraid of the KKK, they should be afraid of us, or worse, hug the KKK away, are incredibly dangerous if you don't back it up with force. The afraid part, not the hugging part. After all, the question is not, will the fascists attack, but when will the fascists attack? And when they attack, what will we do? The Lumbee tribe of North Carolina was faced with the same question and had the right answers. With members of the tribe numbering over 55,000, it's the largest tribe in North Carolina and the 9th largest tribe in the whole US. Centered in Robeson County, it was here that they received threats from the KKK in 1958. Now at this point, the KKK had lynched over 4,000 people, so receiving these threats was no joke. Now before calling for an all-out battle, the KKK members used intimidation tactics. The Lumbees, who were mixed with white and black people, were called Indian N-words and had crosses burned in their yards. Now the KKK tried to scare away everyone who wasn't white out of the county. They'd roll through town slowly to scare people away, and they employed the scare tactic throughout the whole state of North Carolina. Now the Lumbees decided to stay but knew they had to undertake some action or suffer horrible consequences. Just like during modern day rallies, the KKK happily announced their rally at Hayes Pond, close to Maxton. Over 50 Klansmen gathered on the night of January 18, 1958. They were discussing their plan of action, thinking they wouldn't be met with any resistance. But instead of it becoming the Lumbee Massacre of 1958, what went down would be known as the Battle of Hayes Pond. See, the Lumbees had organized themselves, their families, and any comrades down to join them in solidarity. All ethnicities banded up together to form a bloc, 500 people strong. They quietly surrounded the KKK, and they were armed with weapons ranging from shotguns to axes. Motherfucking axes. So they charged into the group of racists, firing shots in the air, and the KKK was scared out of their motherfucking minds and ran away as fast as they could. The most important part? They haven't been back since. Now it's funny how in history we usually only focus on the bloodbaths that fascists caused. We rarely focus on people's uprisings against them. And that's because capitalist states don't want working class people to know they can stand together in solidarity to fight against white supremacy, which is perpetuated by capitalism. Because imagine if the Lumbees wouldn't have been armed during that night in 1958. And imagine what'll happen the next time fascists strike. And we won't be either.